Hi, I'm Christina Ammerman of Zenquility, and this is the part where I should tell you like what I do and who I do it for. And before I took Kathy Wilkie's Nail Your Niche workshop, I didn't know how to finish that sentence, and that's pretty significant because I was at a point in my business where I was investing in growing my business and in expanding what I do to serve more clients. But underneath all of that, I had this identity crisis where I didn't actually know what I did. I mean, I knew I was an energy healer. I knew that I helped people release emotional blocks, but to be able to say it in a way that communicated who I do that for, like who my ideal client is, and what purpose I'm serving with that work, I really had not no idea. I had so many ideas that every time I tried to give my elevator speech, I was saying something different. And it was pretty clear that I didn't know within myself what I did. And I remember the very first class within the workshop and the moment where I had sent in my pre-work to Kathy, and and she was going around the class working with each person one by one. And that moment that she got to me and she was working with me demonstrated so clearly how gifted Kathy is, because she was able to read through all of the what seemed like gibberish I had written in my pre-work, like all of the many facets of what it was I was trying to do, and she talked with me on the call. And then there was this perfect moment where it was like she turned to me and looked me in the eye, even though we were actually on the phone together. But it's like she got quiet for a second and said, "You know what? It sounds like you're a healer's healer." And in my mind, like, that moment was just amazing. Like, angels sang and bells rang, and finally it was like, of course. Because for me, part of what I was struggling with in my business is trying to be too broad in terms of who I worked with. And what I really wanted were people who already got what I do, which can be people who are healers themselves, and they were ready to come to me to help them in ways they kind of already understood, but simply wanted me to help them with what their problems were, which, continuing to work with Kathy, what I learned was to help them with their soul purpose, with their life purpose. And to get that from working with Kathy in this Nail Your Niche workshop was really invaluable, because while I was taking the workshop, I was also, everything else I was doing in my business, the investments I had made in my business, when I added up, I mean, monetarily, we're talking about over $10,000 that I had invested in my business, and countless number of hours that I was getting like nothing out of, because I didn't know who I was talking to. I mean, how do you market your business when you can't say who you're talking to and what you do for them? So once Kathy helped me get clear about that, it made everything else I was doing for my business that much more valuable and effective, and made that $10,000 I had invested in other places actually work for me. And as a result of taking the workshop, the results have really been tangible for me. The new clarity that I got allowed me to restructure my generically named Get Acquainted calls and change them to be soul clarity sessions. And I got a lot clearer about what the process was for that Get Acquainted session and what I needed to ask people in order to draw them in. And from that, I mean, the moment that I changed that name and put it in my e-zine, I got a flurry of people responding to that and signing up for the sessions, where before that I'd only gotten like dead air. So that was a very tangible, noticeable difference. And in addition to that, how I work with my clients, like, I've developed a framework in how I work with them, a repeatable process that makes things easier for me and makes things clearer for them. And so the results that we're getting are better. which allows me to collect more success stories and promotes the word of mouth so that then I can attract even more people to do the same work. So it's really just all snowballed from there in a very beautiful way. And all I can say to anyone who is considering taking this class is do it. Do it for yourself. Do it for your clients. Do it because Kathy has a way of cutting through all of the stuff all of the uncertainty you've had about yourself and your business. And being a clear mirror to show you back to yourself who you are and what your purpose is here in the world. And so take Kathy's class because I want that for you, and I hope you want that for yourself, to have that clarity and to be able to serve people in the way you came to this life to do. And I am just unendingly grateful to Kathy for doing this work and serving not only me, but everyone else who's going to come to her for the Nail Your Niche workshop.